Hey everybody, this is Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined. I am your host, as usual, Tristan. With me, also as usual, your other host, Hassan.
Me.
That's him. How's it going, buddy?
Good.
Good. Excellent. Hassan, I have a question for you.
Okay.
It's a very important question to answer correctly.
42.
I didn't ask the question yet.
Oh, okay.
That was not a bad guess, though. The question is, what would you do to keep the peace, Hassan? What would you do?
Protest? Go out and vote?
Not good enough. See, the people you vote for, scam artists. Protesters, ineffectual.
Write to my local politician?
With what?
Well, I say write. I would probably type it up, print it off, or even send it as an email.
Face yourself some sort of keyboard warrior, I see.
I wouldn't call myself that, but yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't. Yeah. Because you know what? The only way to keep the peace, Hassan, you gotta don a helmet. You gotta put a suit on. You gotta get a gun.
Oh.
That's right. Join me in the shooting range, because that's how you keep the peace, son. Because you just gotta just shoot your cares away, shoot some cans, have a good time.
That's good. I thought that was gonna take a different turn.
I'm not gonna do that. No. And then, after we're done with that, we're going to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And then, while we're there, we're going to tell the elected officials we don't like them.
Well, we're Canadian, so I don't know that really matters, but okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Never mind. Then you're right. It wouldn't actually matter to them at all. We can still tell them, though, that we don't like them.
Yeah.
Through strongly word. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stand on the steps of Congress. Wait until Congress is out. Not right now, because government shutdown and everything. Yeah. Stand on those steps.
I don't even think they're there right now, so.
Possibly. I don't know. Cory Booker might be. I don't know. We're going to stand on the steps of Congress, wait for them to come out. And then as they come out, we're going to brandish our greatest weapon of all, which is our voices, Hassan, and tell them, no, we don't like what you're doing.
Everyone knows, if you look back through history, the best way to get your concerns actioned is extremely peaceful and in no way disturbing of the peace actions.
Exactly. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to put on a mask and a red suit, take a gun, and just start capping the air. Just start shooting wildly into the air.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that'll work. Not going to shoot at anybody. Not that kind of person. But that Sky's got it coming.
I don't know. I feel like Sky usually does, pretty good by us. Protects us from all that sun radiation and...
Well, see, that's what you think, Hassan. But here's the thing. That Sky, that is the #1 hideout, holding place of space aliens, Hassan.
I don't see a problem with that.
Who do you think runs the U.S. Congress? Space aliens.
Oh, well then, I need to go there and start hitting on some people, apparently.
You want to bone the aliens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's option 2. Is that how you're going to get the peace? Keep the peace?
Yeah, this is about my personal interest.
This is how I keep the peace. Really? You just fucking that guy? Yeah, it's an alien. Oh, okay. Oh, sure. Good for you, I guess. Well, all right. Well, look. I will figure out by the end of this episode how a good way to keep the peace. While we're at it, though, this will take me all episode. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, Tristan, we're here to talk about Peacemaker Season 2.
Oh, how fortuitous.
Kind of the future of the DCU, which is the DC universe, but the cinematic one. I hate the name. Like, MCU works because it's Marvel Cinematic Universe. DCU just is weird, but whatever.
They had to shorten it to make sure it's on DCCU. Because, like, that doesn't make any sense. They said, like, look, DC now stands for something cinematic universe.
Which I forget, because they've gone back and forth. Does DC even stand for anything, or are they in their phase of DC is just two letters, they don't mean anything?
No, it stands for Detective Comics.
No, but does it? Because they've done the whole. Well, it stood for
yes
it.
And no.
It doesn't stand for anything. It just stands for DC, and then they've gone back and forth. And I don't know which one we're in now. Anyway, so Peacemaker Season 2 came out this year, 2025. I quite enjoyed the first season. I continue to enjoy the second season. I might even say the second season is better, or it's at least got some more absurd bits and fun characters that I can't believe they got away with and did on TV. So to as briefly as possible explain season 1. Peacemaker, superhero raised by an extremely racist father.
Yes,
to sort of be like ultimate, I don't want to say assassin, but like armed combatant, let's say, expert in, guns, hand-to-hand combat, various other weapons and such. In the Justice League Suicide Squad movie, did some bad stuff, was in jail, got out of jail, got recruited by Amanda Waller when she was in charge of Argus to be part of Operation Butterfly, which was a bunch of butterfly aliens trying to. It's kind of unclear if they're trying to completely take over the Earth, just establish a colony.
Control, etc. Congress is now. I don't know.
Yeah. But essentially, him, along with this small ragtag group, managed to stop the aliens.
Yeah.
Season 2 picks up 6 months later, and Chris Smith, who is Peacemaker, played by John Cena, going through some stuff. He has now twice. In his view, acted as a hero, although one of the times he questions if he was a hero in the Suicide Squad movie where he killed Rick Flag Jr., but it was on the orders of the U.S. government to basically he was kind of being like a CIA-style agent, like, you have to kill your fellow Americans so they don't leak our secrets and then the world will hate us, kind of thing.
That's the whole shit behind that. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. And also kind of trying to deal with the fact that he's clearly in love with the character Amelia Harcourt, who was sort of a handler, let's call her, in season 1. She's kind of not reciprocating those feelings. She's also going through some stuff because at the end of season 1, Leota Adebayo, who it turns out was Amanda Waller's child, reveals all these secrets about Operation Butterfly and Argus. And so basically her, along with Harcourt, are essentially blacklisted for many of the sort of government agencies like CIA, FBI, Argus, etc.
Right.
Which for Harcourt, that's kind of all she wants to do. And so what ends up happening is these characters are going through some stuff. One night, Peacemaker just gets super drunk.
As you do.
Needs to take Eagly, his pet eagle, out to just do his thing, fly around for a bit. So
giant bird poop. I agree. Yes.
Yeah. But he basically goes through this portal. This alien. We learn later it's alien scientific portal that opens into a sort of nexus of all these doors that connect to other dimensions. Ends up finding one that it sort of seems identical to our world, except better, where his younger brother, who is so it's Keith Smith, who is also in that world known as Captain Triumph, which is a DC character I was not familiar with at all.
Sure is. That's a pull.
He doesn't look anything like it, but so he is played by David Denman, so he's still alive. And then also his father, Augie Smith, who in this world is the blue dragon instead of the white dragon. They're both there. They're both like, hey, I love you, son. You're the best, blah, blah, blah. He's all confused, goes back to his room thinking like, oh, this is amazing. But then the Peacemaker of that world shows up. It's like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm going to try and kill you. He runs through the door. While in this door, they're fighting, and he just ends up pressing the Peacemaker Dove logo on his chest, which triggers Otherworld Peacemaker's jetpack, and it causes him to fly up into a spike and die.
Amazing. All right, yes.
Yeah, and so a big chunk of this season is Peacemaker trying to come to terms with and reconcile the fact that he is now responsible for the death of his brother, his father, and himself. So that obviously weighs heavy on him.
Yes.
Now,
I imagine it would. Kill yourself, technically.
Yeah. So while all this is going on, Rick Flag Sr. has now become the head of Argus and is having Peacemaker followed day and night, in particular by his friend slash, again, sort of handler from season 1, John Economos. And once they detect, hey, there's like a portal energy coming from Peacemaker's house, you need to figure out what's going on. So they send in additional help in the form of Langston Flurry, who, as far as I can tell, is a completely new character. He has not previously been part of the DC world. And so he is played by Tim Meadows. And Tim Meadows goddamn kills it this season.
I mean, yeah.
Like when he shows up, he refers to Economos as Ginger Cool, or he'll call him GC.
GC.
Isn't that right, Ginger Cool?
Nice.
But the best part is at one point they're just sitting there watching, and I forget the exact thing he says, but like Flurry just talking about Peacemaker's like, yeah, what's with this bird? Economos is like, that's Eagly, his pet eagle. It's like, okay. Like, you know that's an eagle, right? An eagle. That's a bald eagle, the symbol of America. You don't recognize an eagle? And he just goes, I have bird blindness, okay?
Bird blindness?
Yeah, all birds look the same. Hummingbird, parrot, eagle. I don't know. They all look the same. It's like, but they hover. They're different sizes.
Yeah,
I know, man. But they all look the same. And
no, they don't.
It's
Asshole.
it's just this really funny bit, and you're just like, okay, that's an incredible, stupid bit. Whatever.
Yeah.
So later on, Peacemaker Chris Smith decides, I'm going to go back to that other world. So they detect a portal happening again.
Sure.
So Flurry and a bunch of Argus agents decide to try and storm his house.
Oh.
When they do this, while Peacemaker's away, Eagly defends the house.
Okay.
Messing up these agents, murdering them,
Yep.
claws and beacon that. At one point, while it's attacking this agent, Flurry has a gun. He's like, stupid burn blindness. I can't tell where the birds start and the man ends. And he just legitimately has bird blindness. He cannot tell how big or small this bird is, what type of bird it is. It's like, that is the dumbest thing I've heard.
That's extremely stupid, yes.
100% believable in the DC universe. That could be a thing a person has.
Yes. So two things, then we're into the podcast. I'm going to stop this and go on a tangent. So, DC Comics is still Detective Comics, so it still does stand for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Captain Triumph, is a fascinating character. Yes.
Is he?
Yes. Considering it, I mean, okay. Considering he came back in like Harley Quinn comics, like he's from a publication called Crack Comics originally, from the golden age of comics, and like his whole shtick is that he's two brothers merged into one guy, and he gets like flight, invisibility, and like limited invulnerability and super strength, and it seems also amazing dance moves.
Yeah, so this version has none of that.
That's too bad.
Kind of like Peacemaker, where he doesn't have any specific superpowers, though he does have a super suit, which lets him fly, and I think it has flamethrowers, if I'm remembering correctly, so that's kind of all he has.
Then why use Captain Triumph at all? Like, that's...
Tristan, no one cares. It's you and two other people.
No. Hold on.
That's not the Triumph I want.
No. Because like this Captain Triumph is way funnier than whatever they've done. Like, because again, here's a guy who's essentially like, yeah, he's your Tom Strong, your essential superhero adventurer kind of guy, with like your usual suite of powers with the invisibility tacked on kind of thing. But then like his other thing is that like he's amazing at dance. That's funny.
The opening bit, a pretty good dance again. It's pretty good. I recommend, even if someone doesn't care about Peacemaker, you should really watch the Peacemaker season 2 opening.
I do care about Peacemaker. I just haven't watched it yet.
No, I get it.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
No, I know why you haven't watched it. You're upset that Peacemaker went woke.
How so?
Well, Tristan, so while Peacemaker's in the other world, he ends up he ends up talking with his family more, finds out like, oh, hey, the version of me here dated this version's Harcourt, but we broke up. Maybe I'll message her and see about us getting back together. And so while they're talking,
I see.
They're just kind of in this park, this sort of terrorist organization, let's call it, the Sons of Liberty, end up I think it's just like a DMV, like it's a government building of some sort, but not like a big major building or anything.
No.
They end up attacking it. So Peacemaker kind of hops into action. He basically takes down this organization, gets heralded as a hero. Kids are like, Peacemaker, we love you. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
sure.
So, he's loving this world, ends up going back to his world, gets tipped off by Economos and Harcourt that, hey, Rick Flag Sr. kind of knows something is up and he's after you with this portal. You should, look out for it. All the while, as they're dubbed, the 11th Street Kids, so that's Peacemaker, Leota, Adrian Chase / Vigilante, and John Economos. They all kind of know something is up with Peacemaker. They're trying to work together, figure out a way to help him get some information about what's happening at Argus, blah, blah, blah. And Argus, primarily 3 characters, so Rick Flag Sr., Langston Fleury, as mentioned, as well as Sasha Bordeaux. She is there with Rick Flag, and at one point seems to be his lover. She does have some cyborg abilities. And then Judo Master shows up again.
Excellent. I love the portrayal of Judo Master.
I do. I can't believe they still call him Rip Jagger, though. That's so funny to me. I'm just like, well, he's not white anymore, but we're still going to keep the white guy name.
Yeah, fair enough.
So Argus kind of encircling around Peacemaker. He ends up connecting with the 11th Street Kids, letting them know basically like, hey, I'm going to leave. I'm going through this portal, never coming back. Now, at one point before he's going through the portal, Argus enlists the help of, and again, I believe this is a completely new character, Red Saint Wild, the world's foremost eagle hunter. Now, he is played by Michael Rooker, and
okay.
I imagine Michael Rooker feels bad playing this role because he is just doing the most just offensive white man adopting Native American culture and just, talking about using the land to track things and connecting with the, God, what does he call it? It's like the Eagle Lord and that. And so, at one point when he's about to shoot eagerly, Economos pushes him from behind. He kind of conks his head. So he then goes off on his own into the woods to where he basically just gets down into this loincloth and, is doing like this fake Native American dance with like tomahawks around this fire. It's like, oh God, this is so offensive and stupid. And no, it turns out actually he does know what he's doing because it then opens him up to the spiritual world so that his spirit is flying above and can see eagerly. And so he then goes off to hunt eagerly. It turns out eagerly is in fact the Eagle Lord. So as he's about to try and take him down, all these other eagles show up and kill him.
Great.
But just incredible character for, wow, I can't believe they managed to convince Michael Rooker to do this. Because if I saw this, I was like, guys, look, I know you're not saying it's a good thing I'm doing this, but I can't. I just can't. I can't. The Native Americans have been through too much. This is rough. So, getting back to Peacemaker, so he goes through portal. He says, I'm going to stay there. The other 11th Street Kids decide, nope, we're going to get him back. So that's Vigilante, Harcourt, Economos, Adebayo. So they follow him through this portal.
Yes.
They get there. They're like, boy, yeah, this other world is weird. Harcourt encounters Peacemaker's brother in their house, pretends to be the Harcourt of that world so that he takes her to Argus to meet Peacemaker. The other characters all kind of so Adebayo just goes out to check the neighborhood. Vigilante goes off to find his own house. Be like, I want to find the me of this world. This will be crazy. And he does, and it's literally just them being like, oh yeah, how do you like this thing? This way. Me too. Crazy. All right, on the count of 3, favorite Pokemon. 1, 2, 3. Infernape. Oh my god, it's the same. And you're like, okay, this is funny. And then eventually, Vigilante starts talking about who's your best friend. 1, 2, 3. Peacemaker. And the other guy says something. He's like, what Peacemaker? I hate that guy. He's like, you hate Peacemaker? He's our best friend. No, that guy sucks. How does he suck? Cut to Harcourt and Peacemaker at Argus.
Yeah.
She starts talking to him. And she's like, Chris, what do you mean you like this world? They're fucking Nazis. She's like, no, they're not. And she's like, what are you talking about?
My God.
Look over at this painting. And he's like, that could be anything. And like, it just keeps going through these things. Like, look at the flag. And it's like the flag of the United States with a swastika in it. He's like, okay, yeah, that's on me for not realizing that. Oh, no,
timely.
actually. Yeah, boy. Yeah. It's like, what did they know? And then you go, well, obviously nothing, because this stuff would have literally been written and shot months before any of that stuff popped off.
Yeah.
Like the flag in that one guy's office.
Exactly.
Also, not that hard to predict.
No,
In fact,
absolutely
incredibly
not.
easy to have predicted a decade ago,
You don't say.
when a lot of these people were outright, there's good people on both sides.
Sure is.
But yes, and it turns out like, oh no, this world is actually really bad and sucks, and we need to leave it. There's one great. So at one point, Adebayo is basically being chased through this neighborhood once they've realized, because she's black. She runs to the swimming pool where Judah Master had followed them through, and one of those moments where you're like, boy, this sure is a tell of people. So these people chasing Adebayo, they end up, because she jumped into a swimming pool. Suspend your disbelief for a second. Instead of running around the swimming pool, they all jump in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
So Judah Master saves her by just shocking them all to death. So 20 Nazis all just being electrocuted to death, and their bodies been sinking in this pool.
We love to see it.
So this is the scene where multiple people are like, really, James Gunn? Is this what you're saying is okay to do to people just because of their difference of opinion?
It's
like,
boy,
you're
fucking Nazis.
You're really kind of showing your hand here at how you're responding to this, people. Like, maybe
how dare you shock them for having a difference of opinion just for being a violent hate group? How dare you? I'm so mad. Yeah.
Maybe don't use the scene of Nazis dying as the James Gunn says we deserve to die. It's like, what do you mean we, buddy? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Who's the we in this? What are you saying your beliefs are?
Do you one better? Yeah. Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Nazi.
So they all end up back at so at this point Arcanimos stayed back in Peacemaker's house. That's when Augie, the dad, shows up. He basically tortures Arcanimos to reveal the truth. He tells it to his son. God, what did I say the name was again? Keith.
Okay.
So then they both set off to go find Peacemaker, who, when they were at Argus, the other Harcourt shows up. So, of course, they're all trying to catch them.
Yeah. Okay.
They flee. There's 20 cops that basically end up surrounding them at one point. That's when Augie and Keith show up, and they just gun these cops down and murder them. Like, you're coming back with us to my place. So they get back to their place. Augie basically, is somewhat forgiving of Peacemaker for murdering that dimension's version of his son, basically saying
sure,
hey, what you did was wrong, but I can tell you're remorseful, and my son was not a good person. Basically implying that Augie does not. It's basically the opposite of his worlds, where we'll say like the main dimension that Peacemaker comes from, Augie was a, literal white supremacist member of the KKK. Seems like in this world, it's the opposite, where even though the Nazis won the war and rule America, this Augie decided, hey, I'm actually not a racist. I'm against this stuff. Keith, on the other hand, desperately wants vengeance. While they're talking, though, Vigilante shows up and then brutally murders Augie because he thinks he's the same as from their world. They all manage to flee, with Keith getting fairly injured, but pretty clearly implying that he's going to survive.
Okay, yep.
This is kind of one of the weaker moments of the story, which is that they set up this whole thing of Keith is going to want revenge on the 11th Street kids. But we never see him after this. So
all right.
It seems like it's going to be a sort of like, maybe if there's a season 3, because I was reading up, there technically isn't supposed to be a season 3 of this show. The idea is sort of they're doing 2 seasons of this, and then it's going to be up to other shows and movies to continue any of the characters or plots that they feel like continuing out of this.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, they get back to their dimension. Argus arrests Peacemaker. Eventually, he ends up being let go. He kind of tries to go and get away from the 11th Street kids. Now, one of the reasons why Argus and Rick Flag wanted Peacemaker so much was this idea of, well, he has, trans-dimensional technology. We want to control that because for anybody who hasn't seen the Superman movie, trans-dimensional technology uses it for evil, so they kind of want to control it. So they get this portal from Peacemaker, and then they start using it, and they are sending out Argus members to check all these doors because they want to find some special planet. What kind of a planet? What is it for? It's unclear. There are scenes where countless Argus members are getting killed, and Rick Flag just seems kind of indifferent to it. He also, can I find? I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the Sidney Happerson. So he was a character from the Superman movie, one of the sort of main scientists and fans of Lex Luthor.
Okay, yeah.
He is working with Rick Flag to help do all this sort of portal control, study, recording, etc. Lex does briefly show up in this, but there's maybe only like 4 to 5 minutes of him in the season. So
okay, sure.
Not a key player here.
No.
But all this is happening. Eventually, the 11th Street kids find Peacemaker. They help him come to terms with, I think at one point he calls himself like the Angel of Death. Basically because everything and everyone around him he cares about ends up getting killed. Literally. Oh,
yeah.
His entire family, including an alternate dimension of himself, Rick Flag Jr., countless other people, But eventually they help him to kind of overcome this. And then this all culminates in 2 quote unquote big reveals, and I'll talk about why I'm saying quote unquote around it. So one is that so Vigilante, he had been doing vigilante justice, which included taking down illegal crime gangs and that. And so he would take their drugs, money, weapons, etc., and just has it in his parents' basement. So he has like tens of millions of dollars just sitting in his parents' basement. And his whole thing's like, well, I can't use the money. That's criminal money. It'd be wrong if I use that. And so eventually they convince him otherwise, and they use that money to set up checkmate.
Okay, sure.
We'll get into it. And then the other revelation is, everyone seems happy, everyone seems good, and then all of a sudden, Peacemaker gets kidnapped. He's brought to the Argus facility. They open up a portal. Rick Flag basically giving him double middle fingers for having killed his son. And they're talking about, we're going to send you to this planet we found, Salvation. They basically throw him through the portal, close the door, and there's like a scene where they're like, well, his signature right here says he's okay being our not like test subject, but
guinea pig?
No, like I can't think of the right term here, but the way that like test pilots would volunteer for risky missions. Well, he's volunteered to take on this study of, can people survive on Salvation? Because the idea is they want to basically try and dump all the metahumans here.
Of course.
Which is
That's
also
a horrible idea.
Yes. It's why Sacha Bordeaux left Argus and she joined Checkmate.
Yeah.
Now, I'm saying, quote unquote, those are major points because after the end of this season, there were some complaints out of people that, particularly the last episode, but the ending in general, just didn't really feel like a proper ending.
Sure.
And it didn't really feel like it had a big dramatic moment. In particular, the last episode is just a lot of people talking. It doesn't necessarily have so much of the big fight scenes, that kind of thing. And I've seen James Gunn respond to people online saying like, well, I set up Checkmate and Salvation. Like, what are you people talking about? That's huge. And the best response I saw to it, I think it was somebody on Reddit kind of, somebody posted like, a screenshot of the like Twitter thread or whatever where James Gunn is, I don't want to say venting, but, expressing like, hey, I hear people, but here's why I think this is big. Is basically someone saying, well, it's because, you, James Gunn, know what these things mean and where they're going to go. But like to us, the audience, and even to people who have read comics and know what both those things are, neither of them come with a lot of baggage. Like Salvation,
not quite,
doesn't necessarily have like it's not been a recurring story, and even the story it was doesn't it's not like Salvation immediately means we are getting Crisis on Infinite Earths.
No,
it is not some key essential part to setting that up. So it's kind of a thing of like, well, it's not that Salvation's not interesting, but just having Salvation it's not like, say, the Infinity Stones where you go, okay, showing us the Infinity Stones clearly means Infinity Gauntlet, which clearly means Thanos. A leads to B leads to C. Salvation doesn't do that. So it's just okay. No. I mean, that's cool. And then the same for Checkmate, right? Checkmate isn't, say, the Legion of Doom or the Justice League or a variety. It's not Cadmus where, okay, if you showed Cadmus and you went, oh, and Cadmus is getting the, genetic material of certain, superhumans, and you go, oh my God, are they doing Terry McGuire? Was that his last name? I forget.
Yes. I can't remember his name, to be honest. Yeah.
But, like, Cadmus, you could look at and you could go, well, hey, if you're doing that, that probably means Power Girl. That probably means Terry. Like, they're clearly things that goes
There's stuff to be excited about if it was Cadmus.
Yeah, but like Checkmate, it's not that Checkmate's bad, but like Checkmate does not mean, oh, cool, that means either this villain group or this hero group or this story sort of element now has to show up with DC. And oh, does that mean what are some of the movies they have? Like, I think they're working on a Swamp Thing movie. There's obviously Supergirl. There's the Man of Tomorrow. I think that's what they want to call it.
Yeah.
They have a couple movies in the pipeline, but like Checkmate being there, I can't look at that and go, okay, that definitely means this thing is going to happen in this movie, or that definitely means that this moment or this character is definitely going to show up. So I still like this season overall, but I do ultimately agree that the ending is a little bit weak, and the things that this tries to set up don't feel like they're these big important things. Maybe 5 years from now we'll look back and say, wow, that's so crazy what how pivotal Peacemaker season 2 was to building up and establishing the DCU. But right now it just feels like, okay, yeah, these things are here. I don't know. Like, why I don't know what you're going to do with them and why I necessarily have to care about them.
So that's the thing. I know that James Gunn is a big DC lore guy, and that's cool. We need guys like that, especially in the movie sphere and that sort of thing, in the more mainstream side of shit, to provide the interesting stories that are out there that aren't necessarily your big ones. Like if I hear about the Killing Joke one more time, I'm going to like just
turn into the Joker.
Yes, why not? Something like that. Like these, there are very specific stories that are out there about these characters. They are in everything, and everybody knows them. And it's the only things that people focus on. It's like, oh, we just do the popular stories, the big ones. And it's like, sometimes you need to do the unpopular ones because those are also interesting, but never really got a lot of fervor. Like a fascinating one for me is that the next Spider-Man movie, for instance, is going to be Brand New Day, which is, I don't think, a good move, but I'm curious where it's going to go.
Put water, clone, Mary Jane in, you cowards.
Maybe. Also, like, I personally, the only version of Mary Jane Watson that is even being dealt with well is there one in the movies, because she's just Mary Jane Watson and not some weird fucked up version.
Are you trying to tell me
this is
Jackpot is not your favorite hero?
Oh, honey, Jackpot's not a thing anymore.
Oh, I'm shocked that didn't last, Tristan. How could that not have been loved by the fans?
Because they didn't like that, and then they made Mary Jane the new Venom, so that's the whole thing now.
Oh, I didn't even...
Yeah. Man, like, yeah. At some point, I should do an episode about it, how they fucked up Mary Jane so extremely badly. There's the reason why I don't read Spider-Man comics, and like, this is part of it. Nobody knows what they're doing with Spider-Man comics. Anyway,
what if Mary Jane was Venom? Just sounds like the kind of thing that should be like, Tom,
yeah,
you're fired. Get out. We don't ever want to hear from you again. Get out.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Al Ewing that did this, which is questionable. And also, they're not going to fire Al Ewing from anything because he brings in readers. So, anyway, back to DC stuff. So it's cool that James Gunn knows stuff. Like he's got the lore down, and he's like, okay, this Peacemaker is kind of a more grounded-ish kind of character. Let us use him to tell stories with more grounded organizations and criminals and that kind of stuff. Sure, Checkmate is a great idea. However, even in people that know what Checkmate is in DC and read DC Comics, you don't need Checkmate because you have the Suicide Squad. But Checkmate is kind of like it's more of an all-encompassing take any character from anything as opposed to just take the villains. Suicide Squad is special ops. Checkmate is covert ops. The problem with Checkmate is that we're talking superhero stories, and Checkmate is really good for a specific kind of superhero reader like myself, who wants more mystery, who wants the covert ops stuff, who wants a clandestine group of individuals working together to shape the world and thinks that's interesting. But Checkmate isn't Checkmate's not doing superhero crap. Like, this is a good story for like the Checkmate's good on its own, sure, but it works well in other contexts too. This could have been an Image comic book with brand new, like, original characters and would have done the same thing. You don't need the superhero element to it. It's interesting that it is there, but not necessary. So, like, focusing on Checkmate and James going like, I introduced Checkmate and that's a big deal. To the comic book readers, yeah. Sure. Big enough deal. It's a big enough deal. But to people, like you said, who don't know what this organization is, who are just like, the fuck is that? Having him go like, yeah, this is a big deal, and that's why season 2, the ending was fine. It's like, I don't think you understand. I think you're too far into the weeds to understand how much people don't give a shit about Checkmate. And I'm saying that as someone who kind of likes Checkmate.
Or even, you think about Marvel and the Infinity Stones, right?
Yeah.
They reveal that. If someone who didn't know comics was like, Tristan, why am I supposed to care? And you go, okay, well, there's 5 of those, and they can basically let you do they make you God. And there's this guy, Thanos, who's this
and he wants all of them.
Crazy alien guy who wants them so he can have sex with Lady Death. Yeah. You're like, okay, great. In 3 sentences, capture it. It's like, Tristan, why should I care about Checkmate? What do they matter? It's like, what? Okay, well, they kind of don't
Scott
matter.
Was
like,
a founding member.
Really been super relevant to a major DC thing, but like, they're really cool because. Okay, Tristan.
Like,
same with Salvation. It's like, well, why does Salvation matter? And you're like, well, okay, if they're going to do this thing called Crisis on Infinite Earths, that led up to it in a way, but it's not really a requirement for it, and they're probably not doing that anyways, because that's not how you start something. That's really how you end things.
Yes. Salvation is such an interesting one because, like, okay, as someone who knows what that is, you are correct when you said it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter that Salvation existed in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like, yeah, that could have been a thing, but it didn't kick anything off. It didn't really come to any fruition. It's just a place. Really, like, yeah, it's good that it's there. That way you get Alex Luthor and guys like that. And it's like, that's how you get in the Harbinger, shit like this, sure. But the Harbinger isn't, like, she's necessary, of course, but she could have come from anywhere.
Yeah.
She, like, it's proposed that she could have been a new god. And, like, that would have been fine. That would have worked. She gave her Apocalypse.
I would kill for them to do new gods.
They're currently doing a New God series, and I heard it's interesting. But yeah, I don't. Look,
I meant bringing it to live action stuff.
I know what you mean. I think that doing a New God series would be a good idea, but might be a bit of a difficult one considering how wackadoodle some of the New Gods are.
Yeah, think about how their costumes are. They're great. What's what's that one guy's name? Not Bugcatcher. He appeared briefly in the Justice League Unlimited TV series. God, why can't I think of his name?
I can't remember his name.
But he's one of the dumbest looking characters. I love him.
Yeah, I have a problem with the New Gods. Okay, here's the thing.
Oh, 90% of them are not memorable at all.
No, that's the thing. I don't like most of them. I don't care about most of them. I'll take Orion, Big Barda, Apocalypse, or not Apocalypse. Sorry, what's his name? The big guy from New Gods. You know,
the big guy.
Like the main, like the biggest contribution. Holy shit! Why am I blanking on his name?
Calabac?
No, not Calabac.
You said not Darkseid, so now I'm confused.
Darkseid. I didn't say not Darkseid. Darkseid's the one I'm thinking of. Darkseid. Darkseid is
like not Darkseid for some reason.
Darkseid. You have Darkseid and like Mr. Miracle, and those are the ones that people usually care about. Beyond that, maybe Granny Goodness as well. Beyond that shit, who cares about the New Gods? And it's just like, if they did a New Gods series, I think you would get as many people who cared about the Eternals caring about the New Gods.
You take that back. I will not. Foragers, who I was thinking of. Everyone loves Forager.
Fuck Forager.
And is just garbage.
Who gives a shit about Forager?
Why is his head a cylinder? I've never understood that.
I will say this with the New Gods. That is a better property than the Eternals in any respect. However, it was made by the same fucking person. So, like, Jack Kirby did a lot of good work. I will say this.
Jack Kirby did a lot of work, though. It's also the problem.
Not
all your work can ever be bangers.
No, and he did it twice with, like, I'm going to introduce brand new lore to this world. Here's the Eternals. I left this company and I moved to DC. Here's the New Gods. And it's just like, man, that you did it. You definitely did it twice, and people cared about this one over here, and not so much this one over here, but kind of this one over here. Fuck, man. Like I have such a love-hating relationship with like Jack Kirby stuff because I'm like the guy who just does not give a shit about Jack Kirby crap. And everybody else is just like, yeah, it's like Jack Kirby's the greatest, and if you're a comic book guy, you must be into Jack Kirby. And I'm just like, I can't fucking say that I don't give a crap.
There's no Nintendo Kirby, I'll tell you that.
It's true. You would never see Jack Kirby inhale an entire person into his gullet and take their power. Just cigar smoke. I'm not wrong. Chain smoker. Absolute chain smoker. Anyway, Peacemaker.
So actually, the thing I want to end on is, again, because this is also the future of DC, which is the DC universe is in a tenuous situation right now. So for anybody who hasn't seen and doesn't know, actually, before we get there, some table setting.
Mm-hmm.
So as everybody should know, we live in a late-stage capitalist nightmare where basically the line must go up quarter after quarter indefinitely, which is impossible. You can't have infinite growth forever and ever. That's literally the laws of the universe just simply don't allow it.
Yeah, sometimes you hit the plateau, sometimes you dip, then go back up, you know. How business is supposed to work.
Get to, oh my God, why can't I think of the term for the slow eventual dissipation of energy and matter?
Entropy?
Yes, eventually entropy sets in, but capitalism says no. And so what does that mean? That means that right now, Warner Discovery, which is the parent company that owns Warner Brothers and DC by extension,
Yep.
basically looking to sell themselves. And a certain someone named Donald Trump has decided he wants to weigh in on that and has basically told Warner Discovery that essentially any sort of sale or merger of itself, it's not going to get his government's approval and sign off, which is absolutely required for a publicly traded company.
It is.
Unless it gets sold to Paramount, because Paramount is, I believe, primarily owned, or at least major stakeholder, one Larry Ellison, the founder and majority owner of Oracle, who's all buddy-buddy with Trump. Why is this all concerning? Because basically that means that, going back to the, hey, here's Judah Master shocking all these Nazis to death, do you get those kind of things?
You don't.
I don't know. So looking at the upcoming sort of DCU list, at least for films, so Supergirl is supposed to be June 2026, Clayface September 2026, and then Man of Tomorrow July 2027. Bunch of films after that I won't even get into. So Supergirl probably okay. Like that film, they've already said it's in post-production.
I've heard good things so far, so...
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. For a film that is 8 months out, it's gonna need, 3 to 4 months at least of post-production. That means, okay, the film is kind of wrapped up, ready to go 2 to 3 months before release date. Okay, great.
Sure.
Clayface, they're actually talking about that one is going to be more of a horror film.
Fair. I can see that.
So that one's being directed by James Black, who, according to Wikipedia, he's most notably known for Eden Lake, The Woman in Black, and Speak No Evil.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So, again, that one probably safe because realistically, you're probably not going to have like too much in the way of like, here's why it's okay to be trans, symbology, things like that in it. If it's going for horror, or even if it's there because it's horror, it's probably going to fly over most of the MAGA crowd's head. So
I don't know why they're... Okay, here's the thing. I don't know why they are greenlighting a horror film in this
James
case.
Gunn. He came from horror. So
I know.
Going, well, I'm in charge of the money now, so fuck it. I'm going to spend money how I want.
Is he executive producing as well?
I don't know if he's executive producing, but he's literally like whatever the title is, president or CEO of like DC. I don't know if it's in general or just like the film television side stuff, but he gets to say like, these are the movies we're gonna make, and roughly here's the budgets I'm greenlighting.
Yeah, no. So I know he comes from horror. He's a Troma film guy. First off, like he's from Troma, but like greenlighting a Clayface horror movie is if you want that line to go up. I know he doesn't care, and I appreciate that. This actually sounds like a good idea to me. But if you want that line to go up, a horror movie is not the thing you want to produce.
I mean, horror, they probably mean it in light sense. Like, what was that recent Sinners? They're probably thinking kind of along that lines, right? Way more action than actual horror.
Yeah, okay, sure.
That's my guess. I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But essentially, I think those two movies are okay. And then everything after that's like, yeah, I don't know, James Gunn. I expect you're probably feeling pretty worried about it. I'm definitely looking at stuff and going, well, Trump and MAGA and all that are definitely going to be putting their thumb on the scale and going like, no, Superman actually has to have a scene where he talks about how he thinks ICE is cool and actually supports what they're doing. And so I just... I don't want to say that, hey, they're going to ruin Superman and everything James Gunn is building towards for certain. But boy, when I look at, the way that recently, the Jimmy Kimmel stuff, potentially like the Stephen Colbert stuff, just looking at a lot of that and how things are going, it's sort of it sure does seem like we are heading towards a scenario where most Hollywood and television stuff coming out of the US, it's going to be very
cater to a certain
with the
crowd.
what was that I'm blanking on it, but the organization where it's like, oh, you had to get their approval to be able to release a movie.
It's the one the FCC comes out of, actually. I know what you mean. I think it's like
was it MPAA?
No,
that's the one that's still around, and I think they became something else. But yeah, like it very much seems like we are heading towards that, except through a Republican, focal lens. And
likely.
Hey, I know the name of our podcast is Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined, and it sure does sound like the opposite of that. So the one thing I'm going to say is, hey, Superman enters the public domain soon. So no matter what Republicans decide to do and ruin stuff,
about that,
anybody else will be there and able to take up that mantle and say, well, I'm going to do this with Superman instead because, he's public domain now.
So about that. So certain Superman stories will be public domain. I don't think these...
you still wouldn't... It would literally be the... what was it? Faster than a...
Speeding bullet.
Speed bullet. Stronger than a... Locomotive.
Able to leap tall buildings and single bound. Yes.
Yeah. It's literally going to be
Superman.
Yes. Yeah. It's going to be early Superman. Like, I don't know when Lex Luthor first gets introduced, but I don't believe it's quite as early as the version that'll be public domain.
Issue 10, something like that. So it might be.
Oh, so a version, but it's not. Hey, you'll be able to literally.
We're talking
say
con artists like Luthor.
Well,
though, so.
I'm gonna take the 2025 movie and do my people aren't gonna be able to do that, but
no.
For all the worries that I have, it's like, hey, the good news is, even if they say, well, this is our version of Superman, other people will be able to go, well, you're wrong, and anyways, here's the real version that. The rest of us are going to support. Here's
the problem with that. They're not going to let that happen.
Well, they won't have a choice. Right?
No, I know. I understand that the public domain is
international, right?
Yes, I understand that. However, there's a good chance what they will do, especially Warner Brothers. I'm surprised Disney hasn't talked about this and tried to stomp down the Steamboat Willie horror movie. But Steamboat Willie entered the public domain, and they didn't maintain the rights, of course, to Steamboat Willie. However, I know that if they get further depictions that are close enough to Mickey Mouse, they're going to shit on that legally. So,
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but
no.
Hey, at least it's a way for people to be able to push back against what seems like an inevitable ruining of this character and what has so far been built.
Yep. Yeah, it's even worse with Superman, in my opinion, because you're gonna have a character who is effectively controlled. If the whole thing with Discovery Warner Brothers gets being sold off to Paramount goes through, and I can't remember the guy's name that runs that company.
Larry Ellis. Well, he doesn't run it, but he owns a chunk of it.
The owner, etc. of that guy who owns Oracle as well. If he gets a hold of that and then control of it is basically brought into MAGA control, you have effectively a superhero who is supposed to be representing the plight of immigrants and the Jewish man, back in that day coming from, of course, two Jewish men who created Superman, being represented by fucking Nazis. So, you know,
hey, they made Captain America a Nazi for a bit there, so you know, it's now DC's turn, right?
So we've already had Superman like be evil multiple times. It's not like a new thing. But like even still, it has to come back to no. Superman is the ultimate good guy. Like you can say that about any character, but Superman truly is the ultimate good person who looks out for everybody else. Superman has to be like the greatest force of justice and goodness in the entire, not even just Earth, like the entire universe.
What about Naruto Uzumaki?
Okay, second greatest. You're right. But no, like, so Superman, of course, is he's this. And so if this whole thing goes down, does that then change? Does like the perception of goodness change? Like what are we like? Yeah, there's a bunch of what ifs and what you can like armchair opinionation on this. And I think that is just not useful for us to do until it actually happens. If it happens.
I mean, I also think the thing is, even if it happens, like, hey, if you make a Superman movie where it's all about Superman going around just screaming woke is bad.
Yeah.
No one's going to watch that, right? Those will be failures. Those will, you know, become irrelevant and forgotten moments in those characters. And that's kind of the problem with like a lot of MAGA stuff. And like, why don't people make the stories we want to see like this? And it's because those aren't good stories. They're not interesting to watch. They don't have strong character development and, you know, delving into the psyches of characters. It's just surface level anger.
Yeah. Like, so here's my greatest example is this. So, you ask any, like, okay, if you ask a MAGA person or like a person who's like anti-woke and that kind of thing, like what their favorite action movie is, they might say something like Rambo. But then like they don't understand that like First Blood Part 1, that movie is highly politicized. And then the ones after that like get slowly less political, but they'll
Rambo 2 dedicated to the brave Mujahideen warriors.
Yep, sure is. But like they will basically start studying like ideals of Rambo and not actually the movies. Because like these people have never seen a fucking movie in their lives. They just think they have. They like certain scenes stick out, like, okay, Rambo with a big gun, there's a tank, he shoots the bow and blows that guy up, that kind of thing. That's Rambo to them. But the people who have actually watched those movies, they understand that Rambo is in fact a Vietnamese veteran who was slighted by the government, who just wanted to come home, live his life, but couldn't because he was seen as a pariah to his community and therefore had to fight back. Could only do the one thing he knew how to do.
Vietnam War veteran, not Vietnamese veteran.
Did I say Vietnamese? I thought I said. I'm pretty sure I said Vietnam War veteran.
No, you said Vietnamese.
Either way, you know what I meant.
Yes,
Vietnam War veteran. I think I said Vietnamese War veteran. Actually, I think about it. Either way, point is Vietnam War veteran. He's that, and like he's coming back from like this is the thing that it's an extremely political character who eventually evolved into guy with big gun.
Cool action movie, Tristan.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but like the thing is, you need context for why guys do these things. You
just need cool action.
Like, what's the reason why John Wick is doing this stuff? Oh,
cool action,
right?
No, but like that's what I'm saying, right? Is that even if these people try and ruin Superman, it's like, okay,
yeah.
You'll make bad movies and no one will remember them and watch them and they'll suck. So,
yeah.
Hey, even if you try and ruin these characters, I don't think it'll stick.
I think you're right, too. I mean, people will, like, you'll have the odd bad bad series of movies, I guess. And we'll go like, that was a weird time in Hollywood's history when it was run by Nazis. What else is on? What else you got? But even still, I'm not sure if that's gonna look, man. That's walking into dangerous territory. Point is, Peacemaker, I think it's very good that it's touching on a lot of these subjects. Just bringing this back around. However, I feel as if the people who will eventually get a hold of Peacemaker might look at some of the comics that Peacemaker comes from and want more of that version of him, because this Peacemaker is not.
People don't read comics.
Yeah, they won't. They don't. You're right. They don't at all. But they will hear about the stories he's from people who have read the comics, and eventually you're like, oh, I want the one where he's just this government badass who's going out and doing Black Ops missions, and that's it. I don't want a political version of this guy, quote unquote. He's always political, of course, but I don't want that version. I want a guy who just like shoots the bad guys. I want Dirty Harry. That's the Peacemaker I want. That said, here's the thing. I think that James Gunn, rightfully so, realizes that Peacemaker looks fucking stupid. Like, let's be honest here. Peacemaker's helmet is garbage. It always has been.
Yeah.
It is never going to get actually good looking. And that's kind of awesome. He looks stupid as hell. In the show, they kind of make it work for him, where the helmets are always pretty dumb, but it's a comedy show, so you want a character who looks a little stupid. Like Judo Master looks like garbage. Vigilante is like the coolest looking guy, but his personality is shit. Like, that's how you gotta roll in a comedy. So it's good they chose characters who can, perform those roles. Hilariously, I don't know why they didn't just leave Judo Master look the way he does in DC Comics, because he's stupid as hell looking in that. But they made him a short guy, so that, I don't know. Yeah, that balances out. My point is, like, you have comedic elements to Peacemaker, but I can see a version where they wouldn't have wanted that and go like big guy gun, get rid of the helmet, make it look cooler, and then you got us. Like,
yeah,
why has he got this big ring around his head?
I think you do that, and no one cares about the show. No one watches it. No one remembers it in a decade plus. So,
yeah, you're right.
Hey,
I agree.
Everything is fine. Nothing is ruined. Whatever bad things happen will be temporary. Somehow we'll all make it out on the other side, and I won't say everything will be okay, but we'll get back to a better place.
A lot of things will be okay. Maybe not this one, but we'll for the time
we'll see.
At least temporarily.
But that's the note I want to end on. So why don't you tell people where to find us?
All right, that's a all right. You go to our Blue Sky account, which is at EIFNAR. Go there and yell at us about how much you hate the woke Peacemaker, I guess. If that's what you want to do, good for you. I will not listen. You should also go to our iTunes, Spotify accounts, that kind of stuff, and leave a review, rate us something. Go to our YouTube and like and subscribe. Click buttons. Just like in our current late stage capitalist world, click buttons until your line goes up. Maybe not like a monetary line, but like a hey, you succeeded in doing something dopamine wise.
No, that won't take long.
No, not at all. No. TikTok exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. You should also go to our friends over at DJDane.com. Let's go to Desert Music, DJDane.com. Go there, listen to his great tunes, and make his piece maker. Oh, got a good one here. Send him into Nazi world See what he likes.
no.
I don't know.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's no good choice here. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that one. That's not great. But still. That's on me. Anyway, tune in next time for another Akis episode of Everything the Violence Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Hey.